This is Abrahamic Mission. You are welcome to the program. It is a program that is promoting religious harmony between the two main Abrahamic religions in Nigeria, that is Christianity and Islam. Today, we will be discussing a very special topic that it is highly touching to everybody that is in this world because it's about women. We'll be discussing the role of women in promoting peace from religious homes. With me in the studio are special women that you will appreciate that they are here. First and foremost, we have Elder Mrs. Uzuaku Williams. Elder Williams is the national president of Women Wing of Christian Council of Nigeria, and also she's an ordained elder at the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria. Elder Williams, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And we also have here a woman of so many parts as far as Islam is concerned. A woman that has impacted so many lives as far as Islam is concerned. She is the executive director of Nurul Bayan International here in Abuja. Is Ajia Mariam Ta'an. Ajia Mariam, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, together we will be doing this program today. But before we go into our topic of discussion, let's pick some of the messages that we have received in the past few weeks. First, I will be starting with a message from one Mr. Charles. He said, I am Charles Williams. I don't know whether she is related with Elder Williams we have at home here. He says, reaching out from Russia, but I believe you are not from Russia. At least you are from Nigeria. For many years of our country, Nigeria, this is the best program I have listened to about our country. Gentlemen, please keep this crusade stronger. Incidentally, there are women here today. Mm-hmm. This one also, he also say, I wish all those political... Okay, it's also Mr. Williams that is writing again. He said, I'm Williams, reaching out from Russia. For many years, he said, please keep... He said, I wish all those political people can repent and the ordinary Nigerians can listen and use the good sense that the Almighty gave them. This crusade should be on every television station in Nigeria. I am most impressed. Thank you. Another one writes, said, hello, my name is A.C. Aneke. Your Sunday program are more than encouraging based on ongoing religious killing in Nigeria. Please keep it up. This is a very long something, but somebody here is writing. Say, Salam. In my town, there is a prominent woman. I respect her because she's a born-again Christian from a Christian family. Her parents are still alive. She's married to a Muslim. Allah bless them with 4 children, all grown up now. This woman is still a Christian, but she trained her children well in Islamic way. She even built a mosque in their house. As a Christian, the family and neighbors worship in the mosque. She pays salary to the imam and the malam who teaches her kids, and that of the neighbor's Quran. This kind of mother, I pray, as a Muslim, God bless her. I don't know that you listen to what they say about that woman.
Yes. Well, I am so much interested in this message because that if it shows anything, it shows that the people knowledge determines most of their attitudes, and the correct understanding to the religions, it corrects so many fundamental misunderstandings between the people over the religion issue. When a person or an individual marries from the other religion, and we're able to understand that second religion and raise the children, whether according to his own religion or according to the other spouse religion, it's a matter of probably understanding and agreement between both of them. It shows that as far as Islam is concerned, this is very typical example of the oneness of Islam and the beauty of Islam that allows men to marry from any other religion.
Okay.
You know, and allows them to even maintain their own religion. Because in Islam, there is no compulsory in Islam. You can't force anybody to a religion.
Okay.
Or your own religion or whatever it is.
Okay.
You
I
understand?
have a question that's also linked to what you are discussing.
Yeah.
This one say, why is it that Muslims don't allow their daughters to marry Christian man? You say, why? Okay, you agree too. You've seen.
No, I'm asking. No, not agreeing.
Okay, you have seen it too.
Yeah, I've heard that.
They've had that.
The perception that
No,
most
it
people
might
have.
probably.
Yes, very good. It's a very interesting point. Actually, the problem didn't come from Islam. It come from the Christianity.
How?
How is that in Islam, we don't force anybody to your religion.
Okay.
So if you marry a woman, you don't force her. She can maintain her religion. Christianity doesn't preach the same. If you marry your daughter, your Muslim daughter, to a Christian man, he must force her to his religion.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think so.
I don't think so.
I think so.
Okay.
Because well, I'm very sorry, this is my knowledge.
Okay.
That a Christian man, marry any religion or any woman, she must follow his faith, must follow his practices and culture or whatever. So this is what Islam is.
But what does Islam say precisely?
Islam precisely says that if you marry another religion, don't force that person to your own religion.
Okay, you want to say something, Eda?
It is very interesting to actually hear this story from Williams or someone.
Yes, okay.
Williams, or the second story about the Christian that married a Muslim, and this Muslim allowed her to remain as a Christian. Most times, this is a belief actually that Muslims will allow their wives, if they are Christians, to remain as Christian after marriage. But it's not always the case. So I am happy that Ajia has also confirmed that the Quran says allow her to remain as a Christian. But most times it is not being practiced. It is easier said than as done. So the man that did this, I must really commend him. And also the woman who also maintained her Christian and wasn't really trying to say my children must become Christian or she decided. And this has to do with what we call freedom of religion and belief, because these are things that we should actually preach. People should be free. Even your children should be free to choose the religion they want to belong without being coerced.
Do you want me to tell you something that will surprise you?
Tell me.
My mother was a Christian.
Wonderful.
In my father's house, that 99.9% of everybody in my family are Malams.
Okay.
She will wake me up to do tahajjud as a Christian.
As a Christian.
She will wake me up to do so many other things. Even during fasting, there are so many things that she does. Up to today, I still remember. Incidentally, because when I grew up too, everybody in their family loves me. Because of me, she accepted Islam, not my father that converted her.
That's interesting.
So, yes, it might not be, people think it's better said and done than done, but I've seen in so many incidences like this
in
one.
Lagos, where I live in the West, is very common in the West. It's very much common. You see a Muslim man and the wife is also a Christian.
Madam, I would like to hear comment something. Mistakenly, people judge the religion by the attitude of the individuals.
Okay.
And it is very, very unfair to the religion. Because in both religions, you see a Christian who's doing the wrong thing,
and
you cannot say that Christianity is bad.
Exactly.
No. Or the Muslims are committing bad things and you say this is related to the Islam. So we prefer to judge individuals based on the teachings of the religion rather than judging the religion from the attitude of the man.
I think you have given us a better thing.
That's the thing.
Judge individual based on their religious teachings.
Yes,
not judging the religion based on the attitude of the professor of that religion.
That is actually the problem we have in Nigeria. Because most of the time, we judge people based on their religion. If somebody asks, oh, Christians, that's how they behave. Oh, that Muslim, that's how they behave. Without judging them based on the tenets of their
religion. No, I think this is a better. This,
Yes.
that's why women are better. So we are getting something more from the women. We thank you. This one says, "Good job. This is the best program I've ever followed on NTA. But I need this program to be shown in other cable channels so it can get more coverage, because I tell you, the way my generation has been brainwashed by the so-called religious leaders by pitching us against another is so bad. If I tell you what I went through when I was serving in the South as a Muslim, you will not believe it. But I was not moved because I knew they did not know. They did not know. Please, let this program cover more grounds."
I like the word brainwashed. It's a very strong and very common one. And I can also mention something about indoctrination.
Please go ahead.
Indoctrination and brainwashing are almost the same thing.
Okay.
Where people are taught in a line that you don't give them opportunity to actually have a different view. So they must follow what you have said without any option. And that is the problem. I am from the East, even though I live in Lagos. And
You're an Easterner.
Yes.
Okay.
Growing up, there is this belief that the Muslim is like the enemy.
Oh, you mean in the East?
That's how we grew up as a Christian.
No, it's important.
Yes. That's how we grew up. In fact, when we started the interfaith engagement, I still had people that would call me, "What are you doing?" People begin to see as if you're backsliding because you now have a Muslim as your friend. You can eat and dine with a Muslim. And I thank God that most of the interfaith activity has tried to actually bring in this view so that people will know that whether I'm a Christian or a Muslim, we are all one. It's not about, like you said, the religion. It's about me as a person and what I can bring to the table. So brainwashing here, indoctrination, is what starts from childhood. And once it's allowed, it begins to grow. Like, it begins to have some roots. The roots will be so strong that at a point in someone's age, it will be almost impossible to erase the indoctrination, to erase what has been said about this religion or the other religion. So we have to be careful. If we can start now, we were talking with some people 2 days ago, and we said interfaith education shouldn't just be in the tertiary school anymore. Interfaith education should start from the primary school. But at different levels, so that people will begin to know. By tertiary, the people are already informed. Everything is already formed. It's always difficult to change their view at that point because they are now full-blown adults.
Yes, Imam, I think what Madam is saying is very, very interesting and essential. But I also believe that this indoctrination and the way religions deal together nowadays is a foreign thing to the Nigerian society. I came to Nigeria 45 years ago, and I lived in South, in Lagos particularly. We lived with families, as you said, both Muslim and Christian. We don't know who is Christian, who is a Muslim. Everybody has his freedom, his faith, worship the way they want, whether cover, no cover, praying, no prayer. That was the exact society and communities that we found.
That was in the north.
It is, and in the north, you will be surprised that in the same state, this is a Muslim, the neighbor is Christian, but with the development of the political class and parties and interests and the money, they started to use the religion for political purposes and agendas. And it is very known principle among politicians that divide and rule.
Okay. I think this issue of politics things play a lot of negative role in dividing us.
Yes,
a lot. Let me give you a particular experience to let you know that people just only use religion to get their own interest, not because of that religion. Now, some years back, a man came to me. He said, "Imam, do you know they are cheating Muslims? The Muslims, we are not giving any position, we are not giving this, we are not giving that." I say, Allahu Akbar. Incidentally, 2 weeks later, he met one big man in the mosque, and we told him what he said. He now got a position. After getting the position, about second, third month, not that he stopped coming to the mosque. When we call him, he doesn't pick calls. I am just telling you on practical terms. It's not about religion, but it's about themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is what we should know. As a nation, as group of people, as individual, we should realize that our relationship with our God is the most important thing. And that relationship is the way you treat other. Is the way you treat other, that is the way you treat your God.
Imam, I want to add that Muslims and Christians has to believe religion is sent by God, created by God, designed by God, and it is impossible that God create, design, and send anything bad.
Thank you. That is just it from what the little we'll be able to read from the one that which we have received. But I think I will just quickly take this one as the last message that I want to read. I want to say, good day, my humble moderator. I have been born over 6 decades. I think the meaning of that is 60 years.
60 years.
6 decades in this country. I have not heard of a true Islamic minister or teacher like him. Please, Mr. Moderator, you should try more to look for true preachers from the Christian and Muslim to fill their flocks with the true gospel of God. Thank you, from Mr. Patmos. I think we'll be ending this segment with this, Mr. Patmos, something that we should preach the true religion, undiluted to our people, and what makes us to have peace, harmony, and the love of God. Thank you. Until we will be going on a very short break before we now come back to discuss the topic of the day.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Yeah, welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Abrahamic Mission, a program that is designed for religious harmony and peaceful coexistence in our nation. Today, we will be discussing the role of women in promoting peace from the religious homes. And we have in the studio very powerful and very influential women in the studio. First, we have Edda Uzoaku, am I correct?
You got it this time.
Uzoaku Julian Williams. I think I know all the names. She is the national president of Women Wing of Christian Council of Nigeria and also an ordained elder on the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria. Elder, you are welcome once again.
Thank you.
And also the mother at home, who has influenced so many places, has done so many things, has been involved in so many areas, and she's the executive director of Nurul Bayan International Academy here in Abuja. Ajay Amarantaran, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
We'll be discussing the role of women. Let's even look at it. Let's start like this. In the churches, what are the role of women there? And what are their status? How does the church look at a woman?
Oh, thank you very much. Very important question. The role of women in the church is key to the growth of the church. Women in the church are seen as agents of nurture and care. Even if you look at the Bible text, especially in the Old Testament, you find that a lot of women were used to propagate the gospel. In the New Testament as well, a lot of women were used. If you come to our world, in our context today, and I want to come down to Nigeria, most of the churches, women are there as teachers. Women are the first teachers of the children. The Bible mentioned in Proverbs 22:6 that we should train up the children in the way they should grow, that when they grow up, they will not depart from it. And this role is actually not only to the parents, just as parents, but the nurturing role is the responsibility of a mother. The mothers in the church are the ones who help to direct and organize. If you come to most of the churches, women are about 70, 60, if I'm not exaggerating, in population,
yes.
more than the men.
Yes, yes.
And if you're a pastor, you're posted, or you come to a church where you have less women as members, I think the best thing is to start running, because that church will have issues, because women are the bedrock of the church. They are the foundation that holds the church, because everything about the doctrine or dogmas or growth of the church, women contribute higher.
Okay.
If it has to do with studying and teaching, you come to regular Bible study, you find women more. If it is prayers, you find women more. The prayer life of most of pastors today are still very strong, because they have women who are praying for them. So the role of women in the church is something that, if you give me a whole of the day, it may not be enough to.
I don't mind. Just continue saying it. I'm interested. I'm interested.
I want to be very, very direct.
Okay.
Today we have a lot of churches who feel that women should not be given leadership roles, because of some misconceptions that from the Bible, that they don't understand the tenets of the Bible as it is. And so in most of these churches, women are put in the background. Women are not ordained, and women are not given roles. Now, these same women that are not ordained, probably as pastors, are the women who will make the church to be what it is. Without them, the church cannot exist. Women are mostly those who, if you're a pastor and you preach in a church, those who will listen to your message and bring it to bear will be the women. Women are teachers, they are mothers, they are pastors, they are caretakers, they are, allow me to say so many things that women, the role of women in the church is something, I just say women are the bedrock of the church.
Before I ask, okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I thought you wanted to.
No. I thought you have landed. I don't want to stop you.
No, I was just landing. I'm just telling you that women in the church. I'm not talking about home now. In the church, they are the sinew that holds the church together.
Okay. I remember when we were young. I told you my mother is a Christian. We used to, in their family, there's one song we used to sing, although it's in Yoruba, that on the day of resurrection, when Jesus was resurrected, that the men went to hide. It is the women who actually welcome him. So I'm trying to.
If you look at biblical, if we are
I know it's a biblical story.
Context, I know. No, that's what I'm saying. What I was trying to tell is now what women do. If you look at biblical context about the role women played, you will find out that women role in the church cannot really be emphasized. The works that men find difficult to do in the church, women do it with ease. Like the example you just gave, when Jesus resurrected, men were hiding. It's not just a story, it's the fact.
Yes,
men were nowhere. It was the women that ran. They were the ones to accept
no,
him.
it was Jesus Christ.
The men were still doubting. They weren't very sure. Even when Jesus appeared to some, they wanted to evidence. Women don't need evidence. They walk with their instincts. They walked with the faith they have. They don't need all those things.
So don't worry, I will sing it for you later. Aja, what are the roles we have heard from the Christian point of view?
Well, it's interesting. In Islam, though there's a lot of similarity, but we phrase it in a different way.
Okay.
In Islam, the life of the society and the roles of the individuals have been clearly designed and given both to the men and to the woman.
Okay.
So in Islam, the role of the man is very clearly identified, and the role of the woman is also designed that suitable to her and her nature and her body, her mind, her soul, her emotions and everything, and stated to her and given to her. But at the same time, Islam considers men and women equal in front of God, in front of Allah, in front of the law, in front of a human being. They are equal in rights and duties.
Okay.
They will face by God, by law, by everything, the same punishment and award.
Okay.
So, the Rasulullah, which is our messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, on his last message,
What is the meaning of Rasulullah?
Rasulullah means the messenger of Allah,
And who?
and he is Muhammad sallallahu
Okay,
alaihi
I'm sorry.
wasallam.
Thank you for using that.
Thank you very much. In his last message to humanity, he was calling men and say, Rifqan bil qawarir, means treat women gently.
Treat women.
Treat women justly. Treat women nicely. That was his last message before he died. Rifqan bil qawarir. So that one stood as a law in Islam. Women should be equal to man. Women should be treated kindly and justly and nicely.
Okay.
And their duty and role into the society is clearly defined. That they are the producers of the generation. That's why in Islam it says, if you educate a woman, you educate the nation. But if you educate a man, you educate one person.
Exactly. I agree.
And the kind of education that Islam recognizes is the education of the religion in general,
Okay.
and the education of life in general. It means that the woman has to be trained on her religion, be familiar with the practice of her religion, and also to be trained to know how to handle her community. That's why you see that the woman, they say that it's her responsibility to take care of her husband, of her children, of her family, of the in-laws, even to the extent of taking care of her neighbors.
Wonderful.
You understand me? So it is clearly defined and very broadened to be able to create a harmony within the family, within the neighborhood, within the community and the society in general.
Okay.
So the role of a woman is very, very great. As my sister here mentioned, the importance of women in church, I can add also and say that the Islamic history from the very early time of Islam to date record millions of examples of great Muslim women that they participated at every level of the development of the society.
Oh.
The very first women or individuals that were educated in what we call nowadays Western education were the daughters of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Two daughters, they were the first two students that he sent them to Rome to go and learn the language and reading and writing.
The daughters of the prophet?
Yes, the daughters of the Prophet Zainab and Hafsa. So, because Islam recognized the role of the women and the importance of the women that they will play in the community and in the family.
Okay. But I have two things to contribute or to add, but I want you to clear something.
Yeah.
You said women and men are equal. At what point does a man becomes the head? Because from the Quranic teachings, there is a place I think Allah says that men. So, at what point does the role of a man comes as a leader or as the one in top of the hierarchy in the family?
Well, this is a misconception, I'm very sorry to say. Islam did not draw this pyramid.
Triangular pyramid.
No. Islam said that women and men are equal, but they are different.
Okay.
They are different. The man is different from a woman in his physique, in his emotion, in his heart, in his head. That's why he's different in his responsibilities.
Okay.
The responsibilities that Islam gives the man is different from the responsibility he gives women.
Okay.
He makes it compulsory for the man to go out and dig the stones to bring the sustenance and the means for the family. But Islam did not make it compulsory on the woman to do that because of her nature. But he gave her other responsibilities that are suitable to her nature and her creation that makes it compulsory on her to bring up the children, because she is the custodian of these children. She carried them in her womb first. So she knows them, she feels them, she can serve them much better than the man who just planted the seed and disappeared. You understand me? So they are different, but they are equal. God did not say that if you sin, you will not be punished and I will be punished. We will punish equally.
Exactly.
The law says the same. If we make something wrong, we will be punished equally. If we do something good, we will be rewarded equally. In Jannah, in paradise, the eternal abode, there is no place for women and men. There are places for the good and there's places for the bad.
Wonderful.
Now, so this division that I don't know where it comes from. I think it is the maid of a man. It must be a maid of the man.
Okay, what
But
the
what
Quran says?
Islam says, allow me please.
Okay.
Islam says that men and their responsibility to take care of the family and sustain the family and cater for the family, that gives the man the right to be the leader.
Okay.
Because the ayah, many people like to stop and read part of the version.
Yes.
But the continuation of that version says, Bima faddalallahu ba'dahum ala ba'd.
Meaning, please, I want to do that.
Meaning that the man is allowed to lead the family because of his financial contribution. Because he is the one that goes and suffer outside and bring the means to the family. He is the one that provide the food and the shelter and the clothing and every other thing to the family. That's why he is given that privilege to lead the family.
Okay. That is.
Yeah,
you want to.
Yeah, in that, there's something she said that I picked. She mentioned something that Allah did not draw that pyramid. And so I just want to discuss that from the Christian perspective. In the Bible was very specific about leadership in the home.
Okay.
It says that as Christ is the head of the church, so is the man the head of the family.
Okay.
But at the same time, the Bible immediately says something that's very important that men try not to emphasize. It says, the man should love your wife as Christ loved the church and gave his life for the church.
I think she has mentioned something like that.
I'm only concurring what she said. That, and gave his life for the home. And the question is now, how many men are willing to love
and give their
wife the way, because it's not just assuming leadership, like she said. That's what I'm trying to. It's not saying you stop. She said something about people don't read most of these verses to the end. They only pick the one that are suitable for them. It's not just saying he is the head, but the responsibility of the head is what matters here.
Is what makes him the head.
Is what makes you the head. That's what she said. The responsibility of going out to get that's what the Bible says. Going out to get what she mentioned. Then the responsibility of you sacrificing your life for your wife is what makes you the head.
Okay.
That is very important.
Okay. I feel being oppressed because I must say the truth. I'm feeling being oppressed, but I think I have to defend men here. If you see a lot of accidents on the road, if 10 people die for argument purposes, 6 to 8 of those people will be
They're
men,
men,
because
yes.
they are sacrificing their life for women.
Exactly.
Because they are going out to make that the family is suitable. I'm sorry, I will stop it
It's
there.
true,
I won't.
even
So
in
what the
wars,
Bible says, what Christ says, is
It
what
was.
men
Women are more victims than men.
So I think
Exactly.
well, from what I'm hearing,
They are really sacrificing. Yes, I like that.
No, it is true. Even when it is to defend your country, you know, in any struggle, you see that majority of the dead people are the men.
Amen.
Millions
Because they are
and thousands
sacrificing
of
their
people
life for the
that they are
family.
men.
So
Exactly, it's for the country, for the people, for the family, and so on like that. There is no doubt.
And so their leadership role is.
I think for us as Nigerians, as those who are watching this program, there's one fundamental thing I've noticed. It's like the two of them are reading from the same book. And we should ask ourselves, if this is it, why do we fight or why do we quarrel? I think all what we need to do is to take time and know more about what we do. But there's one question that before I move to the next question, there's a special question that I actually want to give to Ajia. The way you have projected the Islamic or the woman in Islam now, as if a woman is completely free and she can do anything. But before you answer this question, until after this short break, I will now take it to you. How does Islam look at a woman?
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Yeah, welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is still Abrahamic Mission. And today we are discussing the role of women in promoting peace in our community. Aja, you are about to discuss, just not to waste time on it, why the Muslims will heard that the Muslims woman is not free, she's suppressed. She's suppressed.
Well, the issue of suppression by Islam is a false propaganda. Anybody say that Muslim women are suppressed doesn't know anything about the religion of Islam.
Okay.
Because if we are really very educated and know the history of religions, we see that under the umbrella of Islam as a religion, for the first time women got their full rights. Women before Islam, they were buried alive. They have no rights like a human being. Some religions do not even consider women as human beings. They consider them as an evil spirit. They don't eat with them. They don't sit with them. They don't talk to them. They only use them the way they like. When Islam came, recognized the woman as an equal human being to the man, have rights and duties and responsibilities, give her all the human rights.
Wow.
That even our modern time now are trying to emulate and to follow. Number one, women under Islam have the right to marry the man she wants, and nobody can force her,
Eda, are you listening?
including her father.
Nobody can force a woman
Nobody
to
can
marry
force
a woman.
to marry a man she
Okay.
doesn't want.
Okay.
It happened during our Prophet ﷺ. One young woman went crying to him. Say, what happened? My father want to force me to marry so. Rasulullah, the Prophet of God, called the father and said, nullify this marriage till she accepts, or there's no marriage. So in Islam, she must accept and agree to the husband she will marry. Women in Islam has the right of ownership of any property, any money, any inheritance, any land without any guardian. It's only in Islam. Even in the West, they don't have that one now. It must, if she's married, the ownership should be joined between the husband and the wife. But in Islam, she owns whatever she owns. and nobody can force her to give or to take or whatever.
Aja.
In Islam, I want to just mention the last thing, and very important. Women in Islam, they maintain their names even after marriage. If I'm Maryam, the daughter of Tahan, I remain Maryam, the daughter of Tahan, even after I marry the Sani.
Okay.
And the whole world, women, they change their names to their husband's names. Is it the husband that born them?
Ada, are you listening?
That's the change of name is not actually a religious thing.
Okay.
We should try not. I'm trying not to mix religion with tradition.
Okay.
Some of these things are like ownership of properties and other. In Christianity, you find out that so many of this happen. It determines where you are from. If you're from the Igbo or Yoruba, or even in the East, we have a lot of ethnic groups with different norms and traditions as far as women is concerned, which has nothing to do with religion.
Okay.
Like that of change of name actually has a lot to do with tradition. Today we have a lot of people that join their name, the maiden name and their husband's name.
Okay.
And it's actually, I've not actually seen it as something that's kind of compulsory. What matters in this is a thing of choice. Whatever you want to do, whether you want to maintain your name or the name of your husband, it should be a choice and something that has to be mutual. So it is not religious, because I've not seen it anywhere in the Bible where it is specific that if your husband marries you, you must change to his name. So it's a traditional thing. Okay. It's not a religious thing.
Okay.
I agree with Madam, but I want to just separate that.
Aja, I'm sorry.
In Islam, there's no difference between culture and religion.
That's
the religion
why it's different.
is the culture, and the culture is the religion. It's one
Inshallah, by God's grace, we are going to discuss a topic family. I want everybody to be on the lookout for it, or be on the watch out. It's going to be exclusive because it's going to be something very, very important. But before we go, in the scriptures, there was a story of a woman, Queen of Sheba. When Solomon wrote a letter to them that they should come, she called our people that she has received a letter from a powerful king. And our people said, we have to fight them, we don't want them, And he said, no, we will not fight, we will meet them. And they went there without fighting, and their kingdom still exists. That one shows us what a woman can do. Now we have a problem in our country today. What should a woman do as a religious person? Elder.
Yeah, you just summarized the story of the Queen of Sheba, and I want to add more the story that is in 1 Samuel 25 of Abigail, the wife of David, and the role that she played in maintaining peace in the nation. A time will fail us to tell the story, but I know we are all, we know this story very well.
Yes.
But this is a woman who did all that she could to make sure that her family was saved from the hand of David.
Okay.
Because if she didn't mediate at the point that she did, she would have lost everybody.
Okay.
And she stepped in as a woman. She was very much courageous.
I want you to link it to what is happening now. What do we do? What should a woman do? What is happening
now, you find out that most of the perpetrators of this evil that is everywhere in the nation, they are men. And these men, they have wives at home. Now you ask yourself,
and they have mothers too.
What wives, mothers, sisters, what role are we playing as? I was discussing with somebody 2 days ago, and I said, a man, no matter how glorious he is, and no matter how big the man looks, has a woman that immediately he gets home, he removes his regalia. He removes his kingship or lordship or whatever. He removes all his armories, and there's a woman that he lies on his lap, on her laps. And at that point, that man is not who everybody perceives he is. Whether it's a president, a minister, a governor, a pastor. When you're with your wife, you have become a husband.
Yes.
And it is a time that a woman should use to her advantage to speak to this man at this stage of apparent vulnerability, not really being vulnerable, but you know that the life of the man, circumstantial vulnerability, I like that. That point of this man's life, he is just there, just for you, bare like a child,
Exactly.
Now, a role of a woman in this stance, that is why the saying beside or behind or before, whatever it is, every successful man, there's a woman, whether it's before or behind or beside.
If I join you to that, you better stop it like that.
Now, there is a woman, but a man that
is to be more successful, you have more women.
A man that is more, that is adamant. Most times, if you go back home, maybe we have not played our role as we ought to. Looking at, I mentioned something that the Bible makes for Christians. Apart from the men, the violence we have in this country, who are the perpetrators? Who are those who are being used? Our children. Our children are those that are being used to carry arms, to fight, to disrupt peace, to kill. These children have mothers. I have children who listen to me. So we know that our role is to nurture these children. The Bible said, again, I said, Proverbs 22:6, train up a child in the way he or she should grow. That when he or she grows up, he will not depart. So our role as mothers is from the home front, as caretakers of the home, nurture these children so that it will be very difficult for them to deviate into negativity in the future.
Aja.
Yes, very good, very interesting. You know, with the emphasis that when an adult becomes an adult, it's very difficult to change him. Whether it's husband or son or whatever it is. It's very difficult to make. It depends on this adult, how he was brought up. And here bring the role of the woman as a mother. Because when the mother implant the good principle and the principles of peace in her child right from birth, you understand me? And day after day she is building that peace, love, and the way he should treat with others and his brothers, sisters, neighbors, his classmates, his neighbors, colleagues, and everything. It become his religion in life. You understand me? And the peace, there is an inner peace. You can grow in your children, how you feel, how you live, how you submit to God, how you forgive people, how you forget bad things, how you handle the ones that this is internal peace that is only the mother can train the child for that one. And later on, the role of the wife comes in to complement that role of the wife, of the mother. So it's very, very essential. What do we, there is here a problem in what do we teach these children. When we teach these children, we teach them to love our religion to death.
As indoctrination.
We don't teach them that love your religion and accept the other religion. Your neighbor is a Christian, you have to accept him the way he is and pardon him for the differences between you and him. Christians also say the same thing to their own children, that love your religion as a Christian, practice your religion as a Christian, don't condemn the Muslims. Don't take the Muslim as your enemy. So if both mothers now, the Muslim mother, the Christian mother, are doing that with their own children, these children will grow up healthily. And they will grow up to good individuals that they will not fight in the future. They will not go and kill each other in the future. They will not meet with swords and guns and kill themselves.
Now, if we follow what you have just said, I believe we will have a very peaceful and prosperous nation. But yes, we are where we are. We must have made some mistakes as a nation, as a family, as a woman, as a man. Now, as a short time advice, what do we do at least to reduce this crisis that we are having from a woman who is in the house of God?
I just want to bring something that's, for me, we need to bring women to the discussion.
Okay, because we don't have much time. You just have to go there briefly.
Women are excluded in discussion table. You have men almost everywhere. For us to alleviate this problem we have found ourselves, is already there. The crisis are already there. When decisions have been implemented, women should come. Because decisions have been made, women should come to the table so that we'll be able to be part of the implementation process.
Okay.
If we are not part of the discussion, it will be difficult to implement. So that we use our instinct, our God-given instincts, our emotions, and our gifts for love. The Bible mentions something that we should love our neighbor as ourselves. It wasn't specific to say your neighbor must be a Christian or maybe another religion. Your neighbor can be anybody. So those things are what we should practicalize in our day-to-day activity.
Yes. Well, my last advice, as you want it short, for the women are two things. Now,
to solve the current problem.
Problem. Mothers, they bring up children to a certain age, then they leave them. It's very dangerous to leave your child after the age of 14 or 15 and say, oh, I have trained my child and my child is big now. He can do whatever he likes. I gave him the basic training and principle. In this our time, the mother has to continue watching over the steps and the behaviors of her child. Who is his friends? Where does he go? Where does he spend his time? What kind of movies he watch? What kind of games he play? What does he spend his money for? This is because we have a very challenging time and society. And as my sister said, that most of these troublemakers now, they are the youth. They are the victims. Because they don't have enough knowledge. They are intimidated by either power or money or politicians or whatever it is, and they end to be the victims, killing each other and dying on the roads. But if the mother dedicate more time to her family and her children, even till after the age of adolescence, it is very, very important and can save us a lot. When the mother discover all of a sudden that her son is in a cult at the age of 18, she will be shocked. But I brought up this child. I trained him. I took him to church. I took him to mosque. I told him what is bad, what is wrong. But she cut off from the child at a very dangerous stage of his life. That is very important. The mothers can contribute to what is happening in our society and reduce the calamities that our society is going through.
Our mothers have spoken. They said those who are involved in violence, they should stop it. From the true religion, they said it is not godly, it is unnatural, and it is not things that is our own. That we should watch what we do, we should examine what we do, we should review it with the sole intention of coming back. We thank you for coming to this program, and I believe you will soon come back. When are you coming back? Very soon.
Very soon.
Okay. I'm trying to put word into your mouth to say that you will come back. I trust Aja.
So you want me to be level to the viewers?
Yes, So we thank you for being there too, that you've been part of the program. Until when we meet next week, this is Imam Fuad Ariyemi saying bye-bye.